Brian from the gas station, oldcamreview.com. I've got a quick review for you today, and it's a film and digital related item. Basically what it is it's an adapter to adapt your Contax G lenses to your X-mount camera, and these are available for pretty much any mirrorless camera on the market, whether it's an NEX or the Olympus cameras and the Pen series and all that. So this just happens to be the X-mount. This is the one I have, so I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of it. There are much more expensive mounts out there. That's why I wanted to do a review of a cheap one. And see how they compare. So I know this is seems to be a sort of a copy of the Kipon, or KIPON, the Kipon adapter, but this is the RainbowImaging version of it. Some of the ones that I've seen have had metal tabs here on the side. The reason this is just sort of a bit more of a complicated adapter than most of the ones that you'll find is that it has a focusing ring around it, which focuses the Contax lenses, and the Contax lenses are a screw mount, a screw drive focus. There is no manual focus anywhere on the lens itself, so it has to be done from the screw motor, or if you're going to be the motor, it's your own fingers doing the motoring. So so what happens is you turn the focus ring and this little screw turns and then focuses the lens in and out of the barrel, so you can achieve your focus. You obviously, with the X-Pro1, you're not going to get any focus through the optical viewfinder, but only through the electronic viewfinder, and it actually works fairly well. The focusing mechanism here, while there's nothing attached to it, is nice and smooth. When you put the lens on it, it does get to be a bit notchier, although over time I've been using it, it's gotten a bit smoother, or maybe I've just gotten more used to it. But it does work fairly well, I suppose, you get what you pay for. You get a little cheaper adapter. It's not going to work as great as the expensive one. I haven't used the expensive one, so and I couldn't find any reviews on the cheap one, so here it is for you guys. So anyway, the adapter here basically consists of the adapter. It's machined metal, and this screw portion here, this little tab here, is brass, and this is the actual screw that manipulates the mechanism within the lens that actually gets you your focus. There's no aperture adjustment on this piece, nor is it on the camera. On the contact lens, you'll find it on the barrel of the lens. So I'll get more into that in just a second. So I'm putting it on my 28 millimeter 2.8, the Biogon from Zeiss. I wanted a little bit wider angle than the 35, which gives you basically an equivalent 50 on the X-Pro1, and I wanted to try a wider angle without having to spend the $500 or $600 on the wider angle lens from Fuji. So, and I don't mind manual focus at all. So, all right, so this is basically what happens is this attaches to the X-Pro1, and the Contax lens attaches here. Make sure you have your lens off, your camera off anytime you're changing lenses. When cameras are on, they tend to attract dust into the sensor, and we're going to try and avoid dust on our sensors at all costs. So here's what we do. We're going to remove the lens on the X-Pro1, take that right off here, and then we're going to attach the adapter, and the adapter here has the red dot right there, and we're going to match up our red dots, and this actually just clicks in fairly nicely right into place, and it is solid onto the body. There's no wiggle or anything like that. I haven't found that to be a problem at all. Where this does get to be a little bit problematic, when it was for me at first, and again maybe through more use it gets easier, but attaching the lens to the camera has been a bit more difficult. Again, when I got this adapter, it was just oozing grease. So you have to wipe it down and make sure that you don't want to get grease anywhere on your sensor, and you don't want it on your lenses. So I would highly recommend wiping it down to start. Contax lenses are finicky anyway in getting onto the camera, whether it be a G1 or a G2. They only fit one way, and they kind of plug in, and then there's this collar that you twist. So this is where we have the problem, is we need to align this screw portion to the female portion to the male portion on the adapter. So this has to basically align perfectly. Some people have been wondering about whether or not these wings or fins that are on the G lenses, especially on the wide angles, are going to cause a problem. It does not cause a problem on the X-Pro1. Any other camera I'm not going to account for, but there is no sensor interference on the X-Pro1. So, but maybe you have a different lens arrangement. I don't know. So all I'm saying is this setup works. So if you ruin your sensor, that's entirely up to you. But anyway, so basically you align the red dots, and there's a red dot right here and a red dot right here. We're going to align those, and this, for some reason, just doesn't slide in super easy. I'm not sure why not, but you do need to play with it a little bit. Once you get it on, you turn the collar here. This is the locking collar here, and this is going to be the release if you ever want to take off the lenses again. This is the release on this side. So there it is, the adapter's on the camera and the lens is on the adapter, and now we can achieve focus by turning this ring. Like I said, it's not the smoothest thing in the world. It is a bit notchy, especially when you're kind of doing fine focus. You feel like some hesitation here and there, but as I use it again, it does smooth out a little bit. And I've also noticed that for some reason, if the camera is facing down, it gets a little notchier. I don't know. I haven't really played with it that much to try and figure out what these issues might be, but it does work. So with Fuji's updated firmware, it actually works better doing manual focus. So yeah, you screw it in and out it goes, and you can still change your aperture and all that. In the camera, you do need to set it so you can actually shoot with the lens off. That is an option within the X-Pro1, is to shoot without a lens, and you need to make sure that you can do that, or else this just isn't going to work at all. There's no electronics coupling these two. So all in all, it does work. It's not as elegant as I would like, I guess, but you know, that's the way it is. I mean, unless you have more than one Contax lens, you'll take the lens off of the mount and then switch lenses. But if you just have the one, you can actually just take that off and then put on your Fuji lens, your standard lens, anytime you want, and that just clicks right in. Other than that, by the way, this very VAD form is taking off a lens with the sensor facing up. You always want to do that down, but just for the video purposes. So then, since the adapter is attached to the lens here, you line the dots just like you would the Fuji lens, and then just click it and it goes right in, and you can just turn on your camera and begin shooting. I've been actually very happy with the contact lenses. I love the contact lenses on my Contax, and then the Contax lens on the X-Pro1 really seemed to be a pretty nice match. I'm not super picky about like pixel peeping and stuff like that, to be totally honest. I think, actually I'm going to do a video on this at some point, is sharpness and how that deals with, at what distance are you looking at the picture? I mean, if, I suppose if you're showing your pictures to people who only pixel peep and are looking at your photos with a loop, well then I guess I don't know. Anyway, like I said, that's a whole nother video. But anyway, so overall, for the money, I guess I'm somewhat happy with this adapter. It's not the $200 adapter. It's not even the $100 adapter. These came in around, I think it was either like $50 or $60 or somewhere in there. So it's definitely on the bottom end, and it's more than a lot of the $25 adapters, because there's like mechanical stuff going on here with that little screw thing. But like I said, the RainbowImaging Contax G to X mount adapter, and I assume, like I said, it's going to be similar to the NEX or to the Olympus adapters. All that basically changes is the back part of the adapter where it attaches to the camera. But overall, as far as like being on the, rigidly on the camera, it's fine. It's not too tight, it's not too loose. It's actually well mounted on there. And when you need to take off the lens, if you wanted to switch to like your other Contax mount lens, you'd press down this lever here, and this turns to unlock as you would normally on a Contax, and then the lens just lifts out of the camera. So all in all, like I said, not too bad for the money. And see, it is finicky sometimes getting in there, and it'll get there eventually. But yeah, it's not perfect, and it does require a little playing around. Again, you don't want to use violence with your cameras, but you want to be careful as you do this kind of stuff. You don't want to mucking anything up. So anyway, that's about it. Any comments, questions, concerns, whatever, leave your comments and stuff below. Again, really appreciate you guys watching, and this is a quick video. I have some other stuff coming out too. So anyway, stand by, and again, I appreciate all the support from you guys. Thanks very much.